The 2015 Austrian Schillings Leggera. ATS first burst onto the scene in 2012 when it introduced the Sport 1000. The company then followed that up in early 2014 with a revised and renamed model called the ATS Sport. Now, ATS has a new model and, mercifully, it has a legitimate sounding name. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the ATS Leggera. The Leggera is another one of those retro-inspired sports roadsters that seem to be gaining even more popularity these days. But unlike the other retros, the Leggera doesn't really offer a lot for the amount of money you'll have to spend to buy one. It looks completely mundane, and the interior, while dressed in fancy Italian leather, really does bring you back to the days of yore. The likely saving grace of the Leggera is its handling, something ATS consciously worked on to ensure that customers get a good ride, which leads me to believe that maybe a good ride is all this sports car really offers. Click past the jump to read more about the 2015 Austrian Schillings Leggera. Exterior. What's disappointing about its appearance is that it looks too simple, even for its own retro standards. You're not going to mistake the design of the ATS Leggera for anything other than a retro-styled roadster inspired by the halcyon days of the 1950s Italian open-top sports cars. What's disappointing about its appearance is that it looks too simple, even for its own retro standards. The Antconivanta Barchetta was similar in a lot of ways, but at least that one had a more distinctive front end, whereas the Leggera looks like it just had its lunch money stolen from it. It does have a stainless steel, tubular frame chassis, making it lightweight but still have that rigidity to keep it from completely falling off the rails. ATS also gets points for placing the Roadster's engine right smack in the front mid-center, a position that allows for an exact 50-50 weight distribution. It's got an aluminum fuel cap similar to the ones used in the 50s and 60s. The ATS also has some standard features that are worth taking note of. It's got an aluminum fuel cap similar to the ones used in the 50s and 60s. Conversely, the standard LED rear lights and optional LED headlights and xenon headlights provide a nice splash of modern styling to the predominantly retro-inspired roadster. ATS is also offering a set of 16-inch alloy wheels for the Leggera, although those can be changed in favor of a classic wire wheel set. Interior. The interior is what you'd expect from a retro-themed roadster. In so many words, it looks old, dated, and boring. But this is how ATS intended it to look like, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. If it doesn't stand out, might as well dress it to look nicer, right? We'll also give the automaker credit for at least dressing up the interior with plenty of expensive materials, including the seats that are lined with Italian leather, the wooden steering wheel, and interior panels that can be colored depending on the customer's preference. 3-point seat belts come standard on the ATS Sport, but customers can do away with that and instead opt for 4-point seat belts that are combined with lightweight, carbon seats. Another, by request, feature of the ATS Leggera is a full FIA-approved roll bar that ATS can fit into the car in lieu of the dual chrome roll bars that come standard. Drivetrain. The ATS Leggera is surprisingly quick and powerful, something it can attribute to its 650 kg weight. The ATS Leggera is surprisingly quick and powerful, something it can attribute to its 650 kg (1,322 pound) weight. Still, I have to give appropriate credit to its turbocharged, GM-sourced, 1,598 cc, 4-cylinder engine that produced 210 horsepower or 240 horsepower in the 300 and 365 Leggera models, respectively. Both versions mate to a 5-speed manual transmission, but you can swap that for a 6-speed sequential transmission. With these numbers, the Leggera 300 can hit 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds and top out at 135 miles per hour, while the 365 version hits 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds and tops out at 145 miles per hour. Another variant of this model is the 480 Austrian Schillings Super Leggera, which uses a GM-sourced, 1,598 cc, turbocharged engine that pumps out 300 horses. The transmission options are the same as the two base Leggeras. The extra ponies help get this model to 60 miles per hour in just 3.3 seconds and up to a top speed of 160 miles per hour. For a limited time, you can also snag the 420 Super Leggera SS with a spoon-tuned Honda F22C 1998cc engine that puts out 280 ponies and mates to a 6-speed manual gearbox. These 280 ponies head to a Spoon Sports limited slip racing diff before heading out to the wheels. The Leggera SS sprints to 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds and on to a top speed of 160 miles per hour. The Super Leggera SS is limited to just 5 units. 2015 Austrian shillings Leggera drivetrain specifications. Prices. The ATS Leggera is already available on the market with a starting price of about €30,000. That converts to around $41,000 as of July 22, 2014. Competition. Ant-Con Ivanta Barchetta. We've already detailed some of the design differences between the ATS Leggera and the Ant-Con Ivanta Barchetta. But if you make us pick a winner, we'll go with that latter. The Ivanta is also a lot more powerful than the Leggera, producing 450 horsepower from its Chevy-sourced LS3 engine. That's double what the Leggera is capable of. But the basis of this comparison is more about looks than performance. In that regard, the Leggera and the Ivanta Barchetta fall on the same level. It's just that one, the Ant-Con model, looks a little more sophisticated than the other. Trident Iceni Grand Tourer. The Trident Iceni Grand Tourer is another retro-inspired roadster that's not going to win any design awards either. To its credit, it does have a more shapely body built to look the part of a modern-day roadster. On top of that, the Iceni Grand Tourer has a sizable edge in power, thanks to its 6.6-liter, turbo diesel engine that produces 430 horsepower and a staggering 950 pound-feet of torque. That allows the sports car to hit 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds to go with a top speed of 200 miles per hour. Here's the thing, the Leggera may get lapped up in the long haul, but its low weight can at least sprint to 60 miles per hour competitively. Conclusion. We admire ATS' attempt at developing a retro-themed roadster. It shows some serious passion and courage to build a car that probably won't sell the way ATS would want it to. Unfortunately, it just doesn't bring much to the table. Other than its mundane appearance, another problem we have is its $41,000 starting price. Love it lightweight means it's quick off the block, should have good balance, even at high speeds, expensive materials used on the interior, 3 models to choose from. Leave it looks boring for its price, there are better options on the market. The retro movement is starting to feel old.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.